Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Ysn Power Hour. It is brought to you by our friends Toyota Warren. Thank you so much to Tino and all the great people over there making sure that they keep the YSN Tundra on the road, and my wife's car for that matter. She's got a 4Runner and she's very excited with it. So we implore you, if you're out there and you're looking for a new or used vehicle and you're looking to shake it up a little bit, you want a dependable vehicle, make sure you visit our friends at least for the chance to win your business at Toyota of Warren. Certainly, I'm sure they've got some deals coming up as we are approaching that season, that time of year, the Black Friday deals. I got my first Black Friday text messages yesterday, which weird that they came in the same day in the same hour from different companies, but we're about that time of year. It's cooling down, folks. It is cooling down, and things are heating up in the playoff races and the conference championship races, and we are the place to be for all of that. So we are just grateful for the opportunity to be that place here on YSN. Lots of great games that are happening this particular week. Week 9 of the high school football season is among us. Is a week that we've looked forward to for a long time. From the first time we saw the schedules, we thought Garrettsville, Garfield, Crestview was going to be a great game. Lots of things on the line in this particular contest. From the first time we saw it, Springfield, McDonald. Lots on the line in this particular contest. And then, of course, you look down, you've got South Range, Louisville, which is a big non-conference game with a lot of playoff implications on it. Then we go to, who else we have? Western Reserve. And I'm drawing a blank on who they're playing this week. I apologize. I know it's a big game, and I know I should know it, but I'm trying to keep track of all the games. But I saw that encircled. Canfield and Howland is a big game as well. Canfield looks to stay hot, stay ready, and stay trying to get into that championship or that playoff formula that includes 16 teams. And 16 teams will get in from each division, from each region, all that. I mean, it's huge. It's huge. All of the things will wrap up in December with a state championship, and we feel pretty good about our teams being there and being on task. And I think we're going to have multiple teams potentially fighting for state gold come December. So we'll have to find out. We have a great show. I haven't even told you about our show today. Ridge, that's what it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That is a big game. Ridge trying to bounce back off that Springfield tough loss. Tough loss. We've seen pictures. We've seen we have been everything. And I know Ridge folks don't want to hear this, and you can put your fingers in your ears, whatever you want to do. Springfield won. Springfield won. That's just how it was. I mean, no matter which way you look at it, the Tigers are able to pull it out. I know there's a lot of Ridge people that weren't happy at all with the way things. We saw different angles of what could have been a fumble. I wasn't there. I'm not going to make a judgment call, nor do I have to. But what I'm going to tell you is sometimes you got to deal with the hand you're dealt, and you got to play it. And, a last minute touchdown for Springfield seals the deal. You can't, I don't know that we can cry over it. I know you can point to a lot of, we say this all the time. You can point to one play during a game that say that it cost you. But there are essentially 2 hours worth of plays that you could have made that never would have put you in that situation. That's what I tell every one of my teams that I've been on since the time I was a sophomore in high school. I learned it from a player that eventually went on to get drafted. Very proud of that. But when you look at that, that's a lesson that needs to be learned. That's why they say you never want to take a play off. You never want to take a play for granted. You play all of them consecutively, and then potentially that doesn't happen. Sometimes you're going to get that. Sometimes you're going to get the short end of the stick, and you just got to sit back, and because I'm guaranteeing they're not just running that play in film rooms and saying, man, if the referees X, Y, or Z. I'm hoping and I'm almost guaranteeing that you look at the other 200 plays in that game and you go, what could have we done? What could have been done here to make our team better on the next play. Sometimes, and people don't realize this, not every play is constructed to score a touchdown. Sometimes plays are constructed to just get you another play or to set up another play. That's what offensive coordinators are supposed to be doing, is setting up plays for later in the game so those plays go for touchdowns. So those plays are successful in whatever they're trying to do, right? Not every play is put in the playbook to score a touchdown. And I would love to talk to an offensive coordinator and tell me I'm wrong on that. I would love to. Anybody that says that they are, I would love to have a conversation about it, because time management comes into effect. You look at all the different things that come into effect. There's two different gears on good football teams. There's two different gears. There is downhill and uphill. If you're playing neutral, that's where things get lost, because you're essentially saying that everything you're going to play in a defense's favor. Those are risk reward plays, right? 3rd and 10s. The advantage is significantly on the defense, right? 3rd and 4, the advantage goes to the offense. Those are downhill opportunities for offenses. Uphill opportunities for offenses, right, are 3rd and 8, 2nd and 8, things of that nature. So again, it's one of those things, like, you can look at every single play of the game and wonder what would have happened if this play would have went the entire way. Yes, 3 yards and a cloud of dust. That's you want your running back some plays to go right into that line and establish something inside for that particular reason, for that particular play, because maybe the defense crunches in. Maybe they're going to stack the box, right? Put 9 people in the box to try to stop the run, and then you go over the top. That's setting up the next play. And you're not sacrificing that play. Maybe you are. You're sacrificing that play for a bigger play. You're sacrificing 3 yards to get 30 yards on the next play, on a play action or something along those lines. I don't like hearing it, and I don't want to say people are uneducated. I just think that every play is not designed for a touchdown. And I think fans that are not necessarily privy to football and fans that are not necessarily privy to sports don't understand the chess that is above average sports play. And what I mean by that is not just football, but we've seen it in volleyball, we've seen it in basketball, we've seen it in baseball, we've seen it in softball. Pitchers use different pitches to set up other pitches. Basketball, coaches use different plays to set up plays down the stretch that are going to win. It's why when you talk to a coach, coaches are working the official. They're not necessarily yelling at them to get a call overturned. In that particular scenario, what they're doing is they're drawing the official's eyes to a spot where maybe there's a holding going on, or maybe there's something going on over here that they don't want them to see, so they make sure that they're looking over here, right? That's how it's done. In the pregame, officials come up and they say, is there anything we should be on the lookout for? They ask coaches. I've been down on sidelines to where I've heard it. Is there anything specific we should be looking for that we need to know about later in the game? Coaches already know they're going to use this or potentially use this, so they tell them before the game starts. People sit there and they say, wrestling's not real because it's scripted. And if that's the case, then neither is football. And I know the outcome isn't scripted in football, but the plays are scripted. It's a dance, the dance of the water bug, as our good friend Andy would say. I mean, we've seen this. And what I can tell you, and I know we've gone kind of completely off kilter here, but what I can tell you is the opportunities for these playmakers. You look at this and you go, well, if we didn't have this, then we would have won the game. I don't think so. There's a lot of potential on every play to win a game. And that is every sport, that is every level, that is just how it's done. And I think that not I'm not saying that people in Mineral Ridge shouldn't have a right to object it or to ask about it or have controversy within their community. Certainly. You're this is America, baby. The tribal chief, right? This is America. You have the right to object. However, when you're and I haven't seen this. I've heard of it. I have not seen it with my own eyes. I don't think that you could blame one single person or like referees, whatever. It's not rigged. It wasn't set up. It was, there was not a good angle on YSN. There was not a good angle, from any other media outlet there that showed it. We saw one picture that it didn't look good, but there's a lot of questions about the angle. It's the same thing we see. Unless you have an angle straight down from pylon to pylon, I'm not sure that you're ever going to have it quite right, ever. So that's the crazy part about it. Here we go. Yes, there was, say David Balestrino. Okay, Dave. Okay. I didn't see one that was right down the pylon, from pylon to pylon. The one that I saw was angled from maybe, I don't know, I'm just guessing, from pylon over or from inside the pylon over. I'm not sure if that's the left of the pylon across the field is my guess is where that camera angle was. And you can tell me if I'm wrong. But it sure looked like it was that way. Because it looked like, typically when you see the front of a jersey, if you can make out a number, there's an angle to it. You're in front, right? That's just that's angles. That's me understanding angles. I could be completely off base, but my judgment was I saw it, and the photographer was out in front of the play, not directly in front, to the side, to the left probably of the pylon, in the other opposing end zone, and shooting across. So I couldn't make a good read on it. He's sending it now, but I think it's for me it comes down to more than one play. At least give me that much, Dave. Does it come down to more than one play in a football game? That's the question I have, and that's kind of what we're going down. He just said sent 3 to you. All right, I'll look at them during our interview here that was pre-recorded. Great interview, by the way. We're going to shift gears here because I'm in trouble. I think the Balestrino is going to egg my house for Halloween. For this interview, folks, I got to tell you, this is obviously a sports network, but what has happened over the last year and 8 months, if you know, you know, a devastating train derailment in East Palestine, which is where I am right now, my home, and where it has been for the last 15 years, and then a lot of years before that. The train derailment has scared a lot of people, and one of the things that I've been learning a lot about is hydration, and learning about different waters. We see it every day, right? I tried to make this interview. You'll see towards the back end a lot more about the sports realm of it because we wanted to keep it in sports, but we also want people to understand what people are facing here in East Palestine and surrounding communities. I've had people from different communities around the area, not just in East Palestine, talk to me about how they are nervous about drinking water that they have for one reason or another, whether it be train derailment or otherwise. So we have been working for quite some time with a group called Century H2O out of Phoenix, Arizona. And we have, through this particular company and others, we've been able to bring Century H2O to athletics on October 26th. And what they're going to do for people of East Palestine is they are going to give a free under the sink system to everybody any that is lives in East Palestine. All you have to do is bring in your water bill, and the first 500 on that Saturday, the 26th of October, at athletics, will receive right on the spot a free Century H2O under the sink system. And for others in the Ohio and Pennsylvania area that are not in an East Palestine address, you are going to get a 15% off coupon from Century H2O through YSN for any of their products on their website. So we had the awesome opportunity to sit with Nelson, who is the head honcho of Century H2O, talk to him about why he's coming, what he's bringing, and what makes his water so different. If you're a student athlete, stick around for the end of the particular interview because it talks a little bit about how it could potentially help you in being a better athlete, being a better student, making your healthier choices. And if you're worried about the East Palestine situation or the surrounding situation, there is a heavy chunk of what this opportunity could bring to you. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here is the interview with Nelson earlier today from Century H2O. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have a very exciting guest for us here today to talk about, not necessarily in the sports realm, but anybody who knows YSN knows that our background is based in the East Palestine, Ohio. And over the last year and a half or so, there has been some people that have walked in and out of the lives of those in East Palestine. But one guy that has stood by all of the residents and naturally tried to help out in any way he could, possibly with the water or support or just walking and talking people through this scenario and what they're really going through, is our next guest. A guy that is profoundly known across the country for being a guy that supports, especially with this newest endeavor, Century H2O. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring in one of my dear friends now here to the program and certainly to the company and to me personally. Ladies and gentlemen, Nelson McElveen. Nelson, welcome aboard, man. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, it's nice to be with you, DJ. It's an honor to talk to the folks in the area that will be in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're excited. And that's the one thing that we want to start off with. And it's October 26th. Yourself, John Wark, and so many others have really kind of planted the seed of you want to help people in East Palestine. You want to make sure that we're not forgotten. And we thank you for that. But with you guys, you're coming like on ground. You're going to be sitting here and you, my friend, are giving away 2,000 of your newest product, one of your under the sink systems. Can you tell us kind of what got you started on that?
Well, the product was developed. Oh gosh, about 5 years ago. And what happened was, as you get older, things start happening. You go to your doctor, and your doctor says, "Hey, your PSA levels are starting to rise." So you ignore them. And then you go back a little bit later and they tell you, hey, you're up to like 4.0 and from 1.6. So I went to a specialist, talked to the specialist. He goes, hey, we got to slice and dice, how they want to do whatever they do in that world. And I said, no. And I went home and developed a product that puts oxygen into your body at a 68 parts per million. It's real oxygen. You can weigh the water against your city water and be a totally different animal. And then I changed the pH to 9.0 plus, which puts alkaline water in your body, which destroys acid, which creates cancer. And then we gave magnesium, calcium. But on top of that, we started developing a product that would do other things. And one of the problems that you have in the world right now is you got a lot of pharmaceuticals in the water. We remove all the vaccines, all the PFAs, the plastic, and we take out. Then we got this other problem out there called fluoride. Fluoride is a product that will create cancer, havoc in your body, basically. Thyroid cancer is one of the outcomes of fluoride and basically havoc, right? So we remove that also. But here's the part that's very interesting. I talked to my scientists and they say, yeah, the biggest problem we're seeing in America right now, and my scientists are out of Germany, the biggest problem we have in America right now is the fact that you guys are putting white PVC pipes in on your homes. PEX, you've heard the word PEX, right?
PEX piping, yep.
Everybody wants to use PEX these days. And what happens when you have plastic, the plastic leaches off into your drinking water. Now, not as bad as East Palestine situation, okay? So this was a great test for us. So what happened was they sent me over this special carbon, we call it red carbon, And we built up a system. Actually, I built up about 210 of them, and we shipped those in the same day President Trump was in town. And we gave away 210 systems. And in the process, we gave these away. Then what we did was, not knowing what we don't know, you think you're doing the right thing. You think you got it all covered. And I never dabbled in this world before. Now, give me a little backstory on all this. The reason why we got involved was I'm an injection molder by trade. When you get on a Boeing airplane, when you got an Airbus, Homeland Security, any of these products that they're using are made out of plastic. I'm the guy that's making them. Okay. So I run vinyl PVC in my factory, and PVC does not burn. Never has burned. We use it for smoke detectors because it doesn't burn. But what it does do is when it gets hot enough, it turns into a gas, and that's called mustard gas. And if you recall, if you read your history books, World War I, they outlawed it. A year and 8 months ago, they recreated it in East Palestine. So you see those flames going up. So for them to burn PVC, you got to give it. You have to have a igniter. You have to put something in it to make it burn. So when we seen that, we say, hey, we got to help these folks out. This isn't right. So we went in, we gave a product away, and then we had out of Akron, Ohio, we had the EPA go back in and test our water against the water that they were supposedly fixing for you guys. And the tests are on the website. EPA laboratory did chain of custody. Okay. So they did the chain of custody, and then they did the tests. And by doing chain of custody, when you use vinyl chloride, which I didn't know, you just take a glass of vinyl chloride, within a few minutes, it'll dissipate into the air. It rises to the top and it goes off. So we had to do it in a proper way where they put something in there and they maintained the vinyl chloride in the water and all that. Went back to Akron. Akron then turned around, the EPA lab turned around and tested it. And we were sitting at 0 when we were done. The products that came from the EPA were not at 0. If you look at the test, you'll see the numbers. They're a wee bit higher. And I don't know about you, but because someone says it is, and this number's okay, I'm kind of of the impression 0's okay, not anything more. So that's why we went in. That's what we did with a simple product. So what's happening is we've been working with some folks in the Trump campaign, let's say, and we're going to come back and we're going to give away a unit to everyone in East Palestine that wants one. So what we're going to need folks to do is bring a copy of the water bill so we know they live in East Palestine. And when you do that, you'll be given a free, no charge unit. And that unit will take you about 15 minutes to install. You don't have to drill holes. You don't have to do anything in your sink. It's not an RO system. Okay? An RO system is dead water. This is not dead water. This is living water. This water is alive. I will give you an example. When you give this water to a dog, the dog will drink it till it's gone. The dog loves it. They can smell what's in the water. Okay. My wife has a dog rescue, and we have dogs that are living 5 years plus. Yet they, you don't get big dogs living 16 years old. Little dogs hitting 20. And we see this all the time now because these dogs have been on it for a while. But we get a lot of dogs that come into the rescue and they never leave because nobody wants them, right? And so they get a nice life and off they go. And that's how they live their life, and they're getting the best of the best. Now, if you have a fish tank, you'll see your fish double in size. I buy angel fish at a quarter, and they're 2 inches within 2 weeks after we put them into the water. So those are the things we see from this water. It's a whole different animal. And we're getting all kinds of testimonials from folks around the country where different ailments like cancer, psoriasis of the skin, breast cancer, brain cancer, metastasized cancer, it's been kept at bay. Now, is it the water? 70% of your body's water, right? If 70% of your body is you're putting poison into it, I don't know, maybe it's not a good thing. So we believe that the product that we're giving you folks, because of the testing behind it, is a product that's going to turn around and possibly help some people out. At least you're going to be drinking a product that is safe, It's not contaminated. Your water won't be contaminated. And like I said, we've done, and I'm assuming and I'm hoping that over this time of a year and 8 months, that the water has gotten better, over time, you know, uh, water moves on, things get cleaned out, it gets, broken down because of rains and so forth. I'm assuming that's the possibility. So now what you're going to get is something that may be a high-end product that you don't have to worry about drinking any longer. That's where we're kind of at this point.
It's interesting because you and I talked before, and you said the concern, yes, is drinking water, but you said that the water that we shower in, from that scenario is also taking its toll on us, and you have a whole shower system,
Well,
and a whole house system that people can look at, if they like what they're getting here in East Palestine, and not just people in East Palestine, because as we know, the lawsuit stretches out over many counties here in Ohio and Pennsylvania. So for you, what's the importance of making sure that your entire house is protected when it comes to water?
well, here's the thing. Okay, so first of all, the unit that we put underneath is a POV. It goes underneath your sink. Okay, that's where you take your vegetables from. That's where you'll hook up to your refrigerator. That's where you get your drinking water in the moment, your ice cubes and all that. And the other thing is when you see our ice cubes, they're totally hazy. That means they're all minerals. Okay, so you're getting magnesium, calcium at a very high rate. That's one of the things that you need in your body to be stable. But going back to DJ's point, when you go into your home has to be healthy also. And what I mean by that is when you bring water into your house, it has large amounts of toxins, it has large amounts of scale in it. All these things are going through your pipes. Pipes are porous. The scale sticks, the toxins stick. So you know how we have hot water tanks? I'm assuming most folks in your area probably have the conventional hot water tank. But now if you have a on-demand, you have to have our product or something similar because the scale will instantly build up in an on-demand hot water tank. Because we work with Reem and Renette's about these problems. Okay, so look at it this way. So your hot water tank's full of scale. If you put our product in your home, the scale will be removed out of your hot water tank in approximately 6 months. And what I mean by that is the oxygen that we create with our product will scrub the scale out of your hot water tank. It'll scrub your pipes. It'll scrub your dishwasher. You won't have any water spots on your dishes when you use our product. Your washing machine will get the mold and fungus out of it. It'll clean that whole scenario up. You won't have that. A lot of people say they get like a smell out of their washing machine these days because of the soaps they're using. It scrubs all that. The oxygen bubbles scrub everything. Shower, you won't have any white buildup in your shower. You'll have powder, so we don't remove the scale. We just break it down to a usable form. You can wipe it off with a wet rag. A lot of times, immediately after you put our system in for about a week or so, you got to clean out your aerators because of the scales breaking off in the pipes. So now your house becomes very, very healthy. Every water faucet in your home is drinkable. But you want the minerals, you want the vinyl chloride taken out of the water, and you want the PFAs taken out of the water. You got to use the POV because the problem is, now remember this is the most important thing I'm going to tell you out of everything I tell you. I used to build RO systems for the water companies. That's why I got into my business 24 years ago. And RO systems kill your water. So now you're drinking a liquid. You're not drinking anything that has any value to it. All right. So that was the way people thought you cleaned water 20 years ago. The way we clean water now is time and density of carbon. And we only use the best carbon built in the world, and it's all catalytic. It's not conventional carbon because of the ammonia they're putting in the water now. When they drop ammonia in the water to kill parasites with chlorine, regular carbon dies within a period of time. We use catalytic, which is an activated carbon, very expensive carbon. So remember what I just told you, time and density. So time is how long it takes the water to run over the carbon, and then density. So the carbon that we use to remove pharmaceutical VOCs, that carbon is at 2,800 grains of density with magnesium infused into it. The carbon that you're using, if you have an RO system, is at 600 to 800 grains of density. You see the difference?
Mm-hmm.
totally different animal. And that's why you have to put it in a POV. We can't put it in a large tank because of the density of that carbon. I could shut your water off in your house if we use this in a tank. So we have to kind of build things around this, what we have available to us, right? And if you have old pipes and all that, your water pressure is probably a lot lower than it was, normally, right? So what I'm looking at is, so that's kind of where we're at with the product. And the plastics that we use, those clear housings, the reason we use those clear housings is because we've had everything tested where we do extraction tests, make sure there's no PFAs coming out, there's no poisons coming out of the plastic. And the plastic that we use is a copolyester plastic, which is, when it comes to me, that plastic is white. I turn it crystal clear. Eastman Chemical doesn't know how we do it. So those are the things we do because we know that plastic is so pure. And that's why we use the plastic. And we spend the extra time, energy, and money to create that plastic. I can go out and put cheap plastic in there like everybody else does. That opaque plastic you see, that's polypropylene, okay? It skins over, so the folks say it's okay. Well, we don't think it's good enough for what we do. So that's where we're at with the product. So we're trying to build a product that I would use, my family would use, my friends would use. And, this is the same product that we're giving the folks away because we feel that, we want to give you the best. And that's, we're one of, when you work in the world of aerospace, every time a plane hiccups, we hold our breath, right? So when you work in that world, every time I create product for Rockwell Collins or Airbus or Boeing, we have to create a book of traceability. So that's how we run our operations. We create a book of traceability on everything we do, so that we know what we know. We just don't make stuff, throw it in a box and send it out. That's not who we are. And we build everything but the carbon and the other minerals that go into this product, which come from places like Siberia, Germany. Everything other than that is built in America.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's phenomenal that you build everything here in America. You're proud of the American spirit. You're a guy who, as far as I've known, you see a need, you fill the need. And obviously people in East Palestine have been they've been kind of turned away, from a standpoint and told everything that's okay. And that's not good enough for you. It's not good enough for guys like John Rourke and the people that we're bringing in on October 26th. Here at Athletics in Columbiana, people will be able to sign up right at Athletics, and will be given the first 500. As a matter of fact, will be given a system right there on the spot, as long as they bring in their water bill. Correct? Right.
And the reason we're only bringing in 500 in the moment, guys, is because we don't know what we really need. Right. So we've already brought 200 in. So now we're sitting at 700 systems. Okay. There's 1,760 homes in East Palestine, I believe. So how many of those folks will want a system? How many folks won't want a system? I don't need to send product. There's a cost of sending product from Arizona to Ohio.
Sure.
And on top of that, you have a cost of sending it back if people don't want it. So where we're at is the first 500 get them. And then what we'll do is we'll take a list, and the next day we'll send in whatever we need to send in. It's not about not wanting to have them there. This is about the logistics of that is kind of, I'm asking someone else to hold my product under floor. It's not a very comfortable place when it comes to that kind of a scenario. So what we want to do is do the right thing for everyone. I don't want to overburden the person that we're working with. We want to do this in a manner where everybody's comfortable with it. But you don't have to worry about it. We're already committed. So we've already done this. Let me put it this way. We went out and bought enough raw goods and set that aside to create 2,000 systems. So all that has already been in play. All that's completed. Now it's just a matter of getting them to the people. And I'll tell you, we're hearing the stories of East Palestine, how people are getting affected by whatever they want to call it, how they're getting affected by it through health. Okay. And that's it's very, very sad place to be. And I'll tell you this, we had a president came in and gave away water. Okay. When nobody else really cared, he gave away water. And we were there the same day. And he gave away the water, and he did make a promise that they call promises made, promises kept. And this is him keeping his promise. So we're here trying to basically support his initiative. And now we're in the last moments of an election for him to be out boots on the ground is not the easiest thing for him to do. And as we well know, he's been targeted for situations that are not, I wouldn't want to be in. Okay.
Sure.
So we're doing what he can't do right now. And I hope and I pray that everybody in East Palestine, this will be a blessing and a help to them. That's all we're asking at this point. That use the water. And I want to tell you something, guys. Remember when you drank water when you were a kid? How good it was? That's the way this water tastes. It tastes just like that. It tastes clean. It tastes refreshing. It's uniquely different. And the people that we work with in the world that created the mechanics behind this, we took all of their resins, let's call them resins, and we created this product line from that. And then we had it all tested. So you go to the website, centuryh2o.com, and you want to look up the tests, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So we're not kind of like saying, it does this, that, and the next thing, and then they're like, it does nothing, right? So we're not asking you to trust us. We're not asking you to believe everything I'm saying. I'm asking you to go to the website, read the data, and I would recommend this. Okay, so there's two things going on here. We're going to give you a system. You're going to put it underneath your sink. You got a problem, and you got a bigger problem than that, because every time you take a shower, your body absorbs about a pint of water. So you're absorbing a pint of what kind of water? This is, I have no idea. What kind of water are you really absorbing? So there's a couple ways to address that. One, you have a whole house system, and whole house system will last for between 5 and 10 years. You don't touch it. You don't add salt to it. You don't do anything. Every so many hours, it cleans itself. Once you put this thing in, I put mine in 8 years ago. I put it in. I don't even know where it's at anymore. My wife has kind of taken over that part of the garage, and it's kind of buried, right? So all I'm telling you is, you put this thing in. That's one thing. Now there's a cost to that, and that cost may be a cost that you're not, in a position to absorb. So we have another product. It's called a shower filter, and this is the real deal. I mean, this isn't like that thing that they put a shower head on. You know what that's for? To take out chlorine, period. No more. Makes the water smell good. It'll taste good if you drink it from the shower head, and it will take out the chlorine. So now you think you got something great going on. What we do is we give you, with the shower head, it's catalytic carbon filter, and that's replaceable. And it's good for 3,300 gallons, which is about a year's worth of showers, okay? And then we add media in there we call CT resin. And the CT resin then creates oxygen. So now you're showering in oxygenated, clean, poison-free water.
Wow.
That's what you're showering in. Okay, guys. So what I'm saying is, you'll have soft skin. Women, you're going to love it. Your skin will get soft. Your hair won't be brittle. Women like that too. Oh, and by the way, and then if you do take in a pint of water, which they say you do, it'll be oxygenated water you're taking into your system, which is really a nice. Let me put it this way: our shower filters are selling like crazy now, and they're reasonably priced, and you can put them on in a minute. You take the shower head off, you screw it onto the pipe, you screw the shower head back on, you're good to go. So that's one of the areas that we kind of stepped into. And what we did was, we didn't want to do. Everybody else had these fancy shower heads you put on; they look good. They do nothing. They don't do anything. We're like, what good is that? I mean, if you're going to try and help folks, you definitely want to help them in a manner where it's going to do some good. So that's one of the areas that we really get into. Now, here's something I didn't tell you. So when you drink, this is how important water is, guys. When you drink dead water, bottled water, let's say bottled water. Let's say you don't even have an RO system. You're going to your favorite store. You're buying flats of water, which weigh a ton, which I don't like carrying. I don't think anybody does. It's the most annoying thing, is carrying a flat of water, right?
Right.
They're heavy, they're awkward. So you're getting, with our system, you're going to go out and buy yourself a stainless steel tumbler, get your ice made up, if you don't have it hooked up to your refrigerator, go get those plastic ice trays that you can buy for $1 at one of these stores. Fill them up. You're gonna put ice cubes in there, fill it up with your water, and that's what you're gonna drink the rest of the day. That's what you're gonna have. And now you're basically the most healthiest product you can put in your body, right? But here's what it's gonna do to your women. So you drink. You know what a prune looks like?
Yep.
As a prune dries out, what does it do? It gets lines in it. As you drink bottled water, dead water, your face gets lines in it. You're not hydrated. When you drink our water, you're drinking mineralized water, okay? You get hydrated. What happens? Things go away.
Yep.
Okay. Now, guys, here's a cool thing for guys, okay? So you start getting older. You start going to the bathroom at night more and more and more. When you drink our water, the oxygen goes into your prostate and shrinks it. When you shrink your prostate, you don't get up and go to the bathroom anymore.
Good night's sleep.
All night sleep. So those are the little things that this product does. Psoriasis. I got wellness companies around the world buying our product and giving it to their customers or their patients, whatever you want to call them. And they're saying, I'm like, why are you doing that? What's I didn't know if they got it or not, right?
Yeah.
They're like, psoriasis is gone. Skin psoriasis. What? I go, what? They go, oh yeah. And I had a buddy who told me that, and I didn't believe him. I didn't believe the guy, right? I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Maybe you had a good day and your nerves weren't acting up, and it didn't. With this stuff, and I think it has to do with part of the fact that you're hydrated. Okay, when you're hydrated, it's a totally different world, man. I mean, you don't look as old, you don't feel as old. Here in Arizona, the biggest thing we have is being hydrated.
Yeah.
So everybody drinks Gatorade, sugar. Everybody drinks that kind of stuff. Now, the other thing I didn't tell you, this is the part that you're going to be really. This is the crazy part. So we all know that alkaline water is the thing to drink. We all know it, but who wants to spend the money, right? So I have a friend, Roger Stone. You've heard of him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Roger has a family member who, had cancer. And Roger was buying oxygenated water from someplace, I believe it was in Colorado. He was spending a lot of money on it. And I sent him a system. And he started, the way Roger looks at things, the way I do practically, gets a gram scale out and weighs the water, a gallon of this, or a cup of one water and our water, and they weighed identical. That means, and then he weighed his water in Florida, and the water in Florida is much heavier. So what he came up with was we had the same amount of oxygen in both glasses, right? So he started giving his friend our water, and the difference in cost was the water he was buying was in the hundreds of dollars a gallon. Our water, when you start producing our water through our system, it will cost you approximately, depending on the cost of your local water, 0.00007 tenths of a penny per gallon.
Wow.
Now, here's something that nobody else does. No one else does. Are you guys familiar with pH water at all? You go to Costco, buy it. You go to your local water store, they hit electricity, and that's how they create pH water. Costco will tell you on the bottle, read in fine print, really small print. 7 days after this water, it goes into this bottle, it is back to normal.
Oh.
7 days. That's all they can keep it. 7, not 10 days, not 8 days. So you go to your water store, ask them how long that water lasts, and they'll tell you 7 days. Our water, when you change it, when it goes through our system, we're not doing electricity. We're not doing the Kingdom rule way of doing things. We do it the way God gave you water 2,000-3,000 years ago. This water has minerals in it. Minerals is what changes pH. My water goes to 9+ and stays there forever.
That's incredible.
I got 2 years old, and I hit it with my pH gun, still at 9.0.
That's incredible.
That's the difference, guys. So getting back to basics when it comes to water, and I'm going to tell you, I hate to say this, but if you tank the water, you control everything. You control people's health. You control everything down the road. Animals, it just goes on and on and on. Water is the main thing that you can only live 3 days without water.
Yeah.
So you do the math, right? This product here, guys, you're getting them for free. East Palestine, it'll remove toxins above and beyond. It's going to remove toxins above and beyond vinyl chloride. Vinyl chloride was just the main focus because of what happened to you guys, but it will do everything else you need to keep your family, yourself healthy.
Nelson McElveen is CenturyH2O.com, and they're coming in. They're helping us October 26th at Athletics, right where YSN is. You can't miss it, off of State Route 7. Nelson's going to be there. Your lovely wife, as I understand, is going to be there as well. A lot more people going to be there, just making sure that that people remember East Palestine and understand that there's a better way to have their water, even if it is a catastrophic failure of what we've seen of our government trying to do what they're supposed to do. My friend, any final thoughts? Actually, one more question for you, if we can get real fast. Being that this is a sports show, and that there are so many people, parents, student athletes that are watching this right now, if they were to take advantage of one of your systems, what do you think the advantage would be?
Okay, I'm glad you asked. If you come out to Phoenix and you go to the Sun Stadium, you've heard of those guys?
Oh, yeah.
We control all the water inside that stadium. So what's going to happen is, guys, so instead of your kids drinking sugar to get hydrated, okay, like all the sports drinks, you drink this water, they're going to get hydrated. No leg. Oh, I didn't even tell you this. No leg cramps anymore. You know how you get those leg cramps in the middle of the night and whatnot? Gone. So if you drink this water and you're in sports, you're hydrated. Hydration is everything. Hydration means you can perform at a higher peak. All this matters, okay? So what I'm telling you is this water will change your performance level. We don't quantify it. We can't say, any numbers towards it. But at the end of the day, hydration matters in everybody's, psyche. So you drink the water, your hydration's up, your performance level is up across the board. And anything you do, any age you are, it doesn't matter. But in the sports world, it's critical. I mean, it's not even a maybe. I used to race motocross. We had to be hydrated, man, or you get out on the track and your arms would cramp up, your legs would cramp up, you'd be done. Hydration. This is it.
Love it. Nelson, thank you so much for taking time for us today. We're grateful not only for you taking the last 30 minutes, but for what you've done the last year, 8 months, and what you're going to do moving forward, helping not just the people of East Palestine, people of this region, student athletes as well, getting hydrated better, because I think at the end of all things, hydration is very, very key. Thank you so much.
Real quick, DJ.
Sure.
Anyone in the state of Ohio and Pennsylvania wants one of our systems, we got a 15% discount just for those people because they need it. Okay, hey. So let them know that that's a big deal, and it'll help them live a healthier life. That's all we can ask for, right?
You're an American hero, buddy. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you, DJ, for your time. I appreciate it.
You got it, Nelson. Thank you so much. We'll be right back right after this.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
It means the world to me to know that what we're doing is impacting people. And whether it's simply, I got to watch my son or daughter when I was out of town, or we just love watching YSN. We love what you do for our son or daughter. So whenever someone says thank you or someone is appreciative of what we're doing, it tells me everyone at YSN is doing what we initially set out to do, which is shine a light on these athletes and help them kind of promote themselves. My name is Anthony Hartwig, and my sports network is your sports network.
It is the Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark, presented by Joe Dickey Electric. They are everything electrical, and you can visit them on the web right now, 24/7, 365 at DickeyElectric.com. A great interview with Nelson over at Century H2O. I believe Darren Miller asking if it replaces your water softener. That's our plan. That's our plan here. The Yoakleys are bought in, certainly. One thing I should point out is that even with everything that he's doing with um, East Palestine, to add on 15% discount for everybody in Ohio and Pennsylvania, specifically because we talked to him about our audience, where they're located, why it's important. That is above and beyond. But even more than that, Nelson has already told us, hey, I love what you do. I love the people you reach, and we want to help you in your business specifically. And we want you to help our business. So please, I mean, yes, they are going to be potentially a sponsor, an advertiser, whatever it is. This was not a sponsored interview by any means of the imagination. This was to get information out. October 26th at Athletics, right where YSN is located, our world headquarters right now in Columbiana off of Route 7. Anybody from East Palestine that wants one of these, the first 500 are being shipped. As of today, they will be here probably, I believe, on Friday. We will be passing them out on the 26th, and it's a first come, first serve basis. But as you heard Nelson say, we are going to have the opportunity to bring more in, and they will ship more starting that day. If we get rid of every 500 of those Century H2O systems under the sink systems, we will have more delivered, and we will pass those out as well. All you need to bring is your water bill, and we'd like photo identification to make sure we match it up. But I pretty much know everybody in East Palestine, I believe, so we can make it work. But I think it's a valuable tool, and certainly if you, like many of us here, want to just be better hydrated, don't want to worry about what's in your water, whether you're in East Palestine or other places, make sure that you take advantage of that 15%. We are putting in a whole house system here in our house just to take the worries out of laying our head on our pillow at night. We're excited for it, and most likely, if it's doing everything and all the reviews and everything that he's telling you are from testimonials and people that are living it, I'll probably take it wherever I go, and I will try to convince all of my friends, which you, of course, being one of them, to invest in this in their house so they can live a healthier life and not have to worry about what is being put in and taken out of their own water systems, and whatever that may be. I don't know enough about it, to be honest with you, to even break it down. But I like to trust my life into the experts' hands, and this guy is an expert, and he's an expert. He's an American patriot. He's a guy that wants Americans to succeed, and certainly that's what we believe in. And whatever color that you believe in, whatever side of the aisle that you sit on, whatever animal you root for, we believe in America first and foremost, and we want America to continue to be the greatest country to live in, to play sports in, and certainly to be the healthiest of any nation in the world. So if there's people there that are going to help us achieve that goal, especially here regionally, then we're going to partner with them always. That is going to be our show for today. Scotty Mincher will join us tomorrow, as I understand. We will talk about what is going on in Cleveland sports right now. My goodness. Have the Browns thrown in the towel? Who the hell is going to be a quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers? We have so much to talk about, and we have an hour to give it to you, and that hour is tomorrow, 3 to 4, right here on your sports network. On behalf of all of us, to all of you, thank you so much for your time, your blessings, your resources, for wishing us well, for commenting, sharing, editing. There's a new batch of plays of the week going up. It's up right now. There'll be a new batch of big dogs tomorrow. We are working on right now tonight for the final power rankings for volleyball, and we will have the 8th rendition of the football rankings. All of that and more on the network. And of course, we got all the shows that are out there tonight. So if you're out and about and you want to stop and make your life easier with a nice bite to eat, Tiger's Table tonight, Giangelo's tonight, Golden Dawn tonight, Bulldog in Poland, the Bulldog Bar and Grill in Poland, that is tonight as well. And of course, tomorrow, Tavern 26 and Coca's Pizza tomorrow for the Canfield Show and the Camel Show, respectively. Don't miss a minute. ysnlive.com. Head on over to our socials and our YouTube channel for all you can get for local, loyal, and live sports. That's going to do it for our show. Officially did all the promos. We're out the door. We'll see you anywhere tonight that they're serving food, basically. We're going to be there, and we're going to be there with bells on with great interviews from players, students, athletes, and coaches. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow, 3 to 4, right here on Your Sports Network. See ya.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network. For stories